standards. It's just too crowded. You've been in there. Have you walked through there?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. It's,
So take some of the books out of the aisle
and where do you put them?
and do all them books, are all them books used?
Susan?
Yes. We just did a massive weeding. Everything that's left in there has been checked out within the last 5 to 3 years.
She weeds once a year. How many did you weed this year?
About 1,300 since
1,300.
last February.
Every year she weeds, and then she gets rid of stuff that doesn't move.
So, any idea where the money would come from?
That's,
Roger, are you serious?
What do you mean?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
We're talking about the USDA loan here.
Well, I tell you what, I would make a motion to send that money back because we are not representing the people. The people in the city of Rushford says enough is enough. Our taxes are plenty high.
And nobody wants a new library.
Well, there's a few, I suppose. But the majority of the people says no. Take a survey of the people.
The only survey they're looking at is who's using the library, Roger. Talk to staff, talk to people here. This place is Grand Central Station.
Well,
People are in and out of here all the time. It's
so
used.
the USDA money is $2.2 million. And we're gonna add that on top of the $10.5 million?
We're not gonna use $2.2 million.
That's
That's already
$2.2 million.
Okay,
You
so-
have two different costs here, Roger. 800,000, 1.3.
I can read that, but that's for $2.2 million, and by the time you get through it,
800,000, 1.3. Stop
Yeah.
saying 2.2.
okay, 800, okay. You know it? You got the answer to everything? We're here to represent the public here. And our taxes.
Did you pass a motion to say this is going to be the library and that'll be City Hall?
Absolutely. That's-
So how do we carry forward on that? Do you just make a motion to do it and not follow up?
No? Like Mr. Bunky said last meeting, he said we'd allow 500,000.
Based on what? They have numbers here and a breakdown. $800,000, $1.3 million. And he just says $500,000 based on nothing?
It's, he based it on something. He
What?
says, he says go out and have a
Where is this
fundraiser.
breakdown? This costs this, this costs this, this costs this.
Well, this is ridiculous, some of these prices. It's just as ridiculous as the city hall down there, moving the city hall down there.
You voted to do it!
To move the city hall down there, yes, but I didn't vote to spend all that money.
So you want the vote to do things, but not follow up on how to do it.
So, you go ahead and spend taxpayers' dollars on it.
Most of the people that I've talked to, Roger, quite honestly, were not in favor of a new library. I've expressed that, period.
Absolutely right.
They are in favor of us, however, utilizing an empty building that's a closed muni for City Hall. They know it's gonna cost a little bit, and they're in favor of spending some money, not $2.2 million, but we're gonna spend something to fix this building up a little bit.
Well,
No, I'm not saying we are not gonna spend $2.2 million. I'm not saying we're gonna spend $1.3 million, because I will say I'm not comfortable with that. But somewhere, you have to spend something.
And we can't just stay static. I mean, I'm sorry. Previous council didn't prioritize anything. They tried to do everything. This library should have been a priority before a brand new muni building, municipal liquor store. Should have been a priority before buying land. Should have been a priority before building a community center. We needed that before we needed any of the other things.
so now what you're saying, if we can add to the debt, you have no problem with that. Is that what you're saying?
I'm trying to follow through on your motion. I know what it would have cost the least to do, and it was based on the architect drawings we got from Mr. Rivas. Was move the library down there, keep this just to City Hall. When you add up the dollars, that was the cheapest. It wouldn't have been 7,000 square feet like they wanted, but it would have been 4,200 square feet. Would have been better than what they had. And quite frankly, I think they should have been glad for it and should have asked for it, but they didn't do it. And I don't know why.
Well, that's.
I think the reasons they had articulated on there, I didn't agree with.
That's out of the way. That was one of the reasons.
Well, that and Mr. Rivas only had 14,000 items in his drawing of that down there, and we have 26,000 items.
Get rid of more. I'm sorry. Deal with it. Deal with it. You're in 1,600 square feet. You got 26,000 items. Deal with it. Sightlines. Deal with it. Staff. Deal with it. Could have been great, and it would have been more economic. What would I rather have? I don't want to go backwards. I know I'd rather have a brand new library and no muni, no community center, and no $1 million road to nowhere. But I'm trying to deal with what we got. I made it very clear what I wanted to do. The entire council and the library board voted against it. That's fine. Now I'm just trying to follow through on what the council and the library board are doing right now. This was their second choice. They don't get a brand new building. They wanted to be here. Am I right? The second choice on their list, this is number 2. This is what the council voted to do it. And now you come in here and you quibble about the costs.
You bet I do.
But this is what you wanted to do.
I'm a taxpayer.
But this is what you wanted to do.
I did. Did
You
try?
voted to do it.
I voted to leave the library right here,
Yes.
but I didn't say we had to spend that much money. Robert and I went around the different libraries and they didn't spend anywhere near that figure. Am I right?